All right, good morning, ladies, and welcome to Package, Present, and Profit. This is our training call where we talk about how to close for the money, how to close to sell. Now, where this close is going to be appropriate is when you do your own events. It used to be in the old days, we would have 90 minutes, maybe even an hour to speak. Then we could do a close that took about 10 minutes. But now, since we're only getting 10, 15 minutes, this is not the appropriate close. However, if you kind of have 20 minutes and have a small item like a workshop, then we can use it. So as we go through the day, I'm going to share with you when it's appropriate, when it's not appropriate. But let's first just kind of keep in your mindset that it is ideally for your own events, to sell people into taking the next step with you, going the next level with you, which is the speakers is what we need to do. All right. Okay. So we're going to jump right in. Everybody's printed out a copy. Yes. Good. Make it good. And you got it in a notebook, I hope, because then these notebooks you can put up on the shelf, right? And find them, especially if you put some sort of a, what do you call it?
Fine.
Yes, Ardina would know. I'm going to have Ardina do some of our manuals since all of a sudden they're in online now and not printed. I have like my speaker manual. I have like a whole stack of printed cardboard inserts that go inside of it.
Right.
But they don't do me any good. So I'll send those to you, Ardina, and see if you can, kind of recreate that, because I do have a feeling we're going to be doing virtual for at least a couple more years. And I don't know, maybe beyond. A lot of people I know are really digging this environment. So, all right. So we are going to start. We don't have to do the principles because this is more of a training and not a mastermind. But if you want to start with the principles, we certainly can.
Okay.
Nope, we're good.
I'm already in the vibe. I don't know if
all right, we're in the vibe. We're in the selling groove. How is everybody today? Good?
Good.
Good. Okay. Excellent. All right. So we are starting on page 4. And page 4, it talks about packaging because we have to package our products first. Now, we're going to talk about physical packaging, which is on its way out. And we're going to talk about digital packaging. All right. But just looking at a physical, and when we talk about the size matters, cover matters, title of it matters, price matters. So I want to give you a couple examples, because in order to know where we're going, we always have to know where we came from. Agreed?
Agreed.
So this is what is, especially with the pandemic, away, but we still can learn from it. All right. So if I show you a product like this, right? Kind of a small product. We open it up. We see 3 CDs, right? 3 CDs. And I talk about the CDs, right? That has in it a certain price in your mind, right? So what do you think that the investment would be for something like this? If you were to buy.
How many CDs are in there?
There's 3, and they're audio only. They're not video.
$69.99.
Okay, very close. Anybody else?
It's going to be 65.
It all depends on the value of the information in here. Now, the information in here are formulas. So it has the formula. The first CD has a formula on how to create that killer 30-second elevator speech, right? That one that you've learned, and how to turn it into a self-introduction. The second CD is all about the formula and blueprint of creating a 1 to 2 minute introduction when you have more time. The last one is all about how to work a room and 3 great escapes, right? So it does sell on my website for about $69, right? but I'm going to give it away for someone here for free. When I'm live, and I used to have these, I would sell them for $40. Now they cost me a lot of money. They're cost me now $25 just to create it, right? Because I only buy about 25 at a time, 25 or $30. I don't do these anymore. I don't create them anymore because it just got too expensive. Right. And since I have my book, that's what I give or would give away when I would do that giveaway. Right. So, so that has one perceived value. Now, what if I showed you this one? Right. Look at the difference. Now, what is the perceived value of this? Now, not only does the name's cool because it says how to be a networking superstar, these step-by-step systems will make you money for the rest of your life. Right. So the cover's nice, the back cover is nice, everything's nice, so it fits, the cover matters, the title matters. Now, when I first did this, I want to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, it was back in not this one, but I had another one that I did myself, manufactured myself, I did the stamper myself, right? It was a lot of fun, and that's how people did them back then. We're talking about, oh, geez. I mean, before any of this stuff, before Starbucks, before cell phones, well, maybe we had cell phones, but not smartphones. But anyway, it was a long time ago, and people used to stamp their own and make them. Of course, now you'd never think of doing that, but I'll have to look up find one of my old ones that show you. It was hideous, but the information was great. But I only sold it for $20. It was one, not this. It was one other. Okay, and then I had this professionally recorded in a professional studio. Now this one, again, perceived value. Look at the title: Killer Closes with a K. That already is exciting. And what about this? How to turn a curious crowd into eager buyers. Isn't that a great title? And then you've got money flying out the door. Right? Now, there's 10 different people that do closes, right? Mark Victor Hansen, right? Pretty famous. And some other pretty famous, Joel Bauer, pretty famous closers. So, and this is a video, not an audio. So now what is the perceived value?
Wow. Yeah, it's definitely more.
How much?
So do you have, how many videos are in that one?
10. So there are 10 separate videos on all of those speakers. And look at how pretty they're done. And Ardina can contest it because she's a graphic artist. Of course, I didn't know Ardina when this was done, but what do you think, Ardina? Pretty cool, right?
Absolutely.
You know, pretty cool. I don't even remember who did it for me. What do you think this cost?
I would say about 200.
Yeah, that's what I'd sell it for, $197. The value $497 though, but I would sell it for $197. And very expensive to make. These are like $70 to make.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, because of so many, and I don't know why, but a thicker case and all of that, right? So I only have 2 or 3 left that I just keep as an example. You know, I don't give them away. I don't sell them anymore. Now, am I moving to digital? Yes. These will move to digital. I found a guy to do the digital that is a real audio guy instead of just my people that manufacture this, because they have it on digital and they write it to the CDs and DVDs, right? I mean, they have it, but I'm going to have this professionally digitalized. Yeah. Okay. So if you're thinking about adding a product, that's exactly what you want to do, is just start with the digital. You'll still want some graphics, right? So you can either sell the digital or give it away, but so it has some sort of life to it instead of just another digital, which so many people nowadays give for free. You know, but you have something like this and you can send it to them, or if it was something like this, I would have them have to go to a website, have a special password to get this information, and it would be housed on the website, and that's what people are doing. Okay.
As a download.
As a download, and then they could download them individually and or actually use it. Some of them. Now, I bought up somebody's program that was $2,000 that was digital a while back, and it was John Arasaroff's, and it was all meditation to make money and all that kind of stuff. And I downloaded it on my phone, and it disappeared. Believe it or not, it is gone. I no longer have it. Somehow it disappeared off my iPhone. Not with me deleting it. I don't know if he took it off the market and it disappeared. I don't know, but it's gone. So if you are going to download it, I recommend you back it up. I recommend you download it if it's on your phone. Make sure it gets on your computer, anything that you purchase in the future, because I'm like, it's gone. And I never really wanted to hassle, finding the password or finding the whatever they give you to unlock everything. I just said, forget it. All right. So digital size matters, not in digital, but size matters. Cover matters in digital. Title matters in digital. And of course, the price matters in digital. All but number one matters. But you want to do a perceived size. 10 videos are more expensive than 5 videos, right? So you want to make sure that you're talking about how many CDs, how many DVDs are in there. I have another product, which is one of my one days, and I have DVDs and CDs. So you can listen to it or you can watch it, either one. So that, again, has a perceived value because I have both. And it does not take much to take, the audio is already there. Any video guide, you have a string of audio and then you have the video. So it's easy to separate. And now you have both and you have twice the value and you can charge twice as much. Right? So think about that. All right. If we have any questions as you go through, just ask. Okay, so now the next page, page 5, talks a little bit about packaging your coaching service, consulting services, or event services, which is what all of you have. So there's different ideas of products there, but you want to do the same thing with digital. You can make the recording, and instead of just sending it on the cloud or our YouTube, you can make it a big deal. So I went to, when the pandemic first started, I went to an event, and because the pandemic started in the end of March, and this was this was at the end of March. And so it was like the first one ever. So I went there to see what this girl was doing. I got the recording, and she didn't give me the recording. I have to go to her website. I don't even know if I remember how to do it, which is a bummer, but I have to go to her website. I have to use a password, and that's where it is housed. All right, forever. Okay. Now, good news, bad news. Good news for her because no one's going to, steal it. No one's going to pass it around. That's what you have to be careful if you're going to be giving downloads away, or if you're going to be, giving your event and recording it and giving that recording away, because people can pass it on. Not everybody's honest like us. They're going to pass it on. Or a friend says, hey, I couldn't go. Did you happen to buy the recording? Oh, yes, here it is. All right. So again, it costs a little more. Now it's on your regular website though. You don't have to pay for a new website. It's just housed on the website, and you've got to have some sort of password, protection. So they have to create a login, create a password. I don't know how that's done, but that's your web person knows how to do that. All right. So that's what I would recommend. Now, here's the other reason why I recommend it. And I didn't do that last time for $1 million, but I'm thinking about doing it this time. Because when I went to load up, now I had it all on the cloud. I'm not doing that this time. I'm putting it on my computer so I have a little more control. Because what happened is sometimes the cloud hiccups, and there's a few people that some of my students that didn't get their speech recorded. So I don't want that to happen again. So I'm putting it on my computer. But guess what? When I tried to load it up to YouTube, YouTube rejected it. Why? Because I had music that was copywritten. You know, all that music.
Yeah.
This girl is up. You can't just put that up on YouTube. If I recorded it and put it on my site and had it password protected, I could do that.
Yeah.
See the difference?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why you want to invest a little bit of money and have it put on your website and have some sort of password protection on it. And then it'll stay there forever as is without you having to strip it of the music, which I could have done. And I asked CJ and he wanted to charge, an astronomical amount of money. Well, you know, because it's going to take a lot of time. And I just said, it's not, the juice is not worth the squeeze. Right? Nobody's really asked me for the video. You know, no one's really wanting it. It's just like in the old days, I had an event, and that's where all of these are from, actually. I had an event. My first event was called Speak Your Way to Wealth, right? I did it with a business partner of mine. It was all about speaking. And so the people that I would have on stage really talked about speaking. Duh, direct competition with me. Hello. I gave my surprising what you learn, right? Don't do that. You can have any other kind of event.
Don't create a competition.
Yeah. So it was multi-speaker event because back then that's when it was popular. It was over 11 years ago. How do I know? Because I just got a Facebook memory that said 11 years ago, and it was my last one. You know? And then I changed up the name, and I did 4 or 5 of those. Then I did a couple of Go for the Golds. And then my business partner, I decided he wanted to do more of the book stuff. And I decided I wanted to do some women events. So I tried the women events. That didn't work either. I tried Christian events. That didn't work either. So 6 years ago, I started $1 Million, and that's working. The Christian events, partly it didn't work because I wanted to have them near home. I wanted to have them here in my local area, not Orange County, not Los Angeles. Well, people are way out here. They're pretty laid back, and they're pretty laid back. So they're not into making the kind of money that it would take to be a successful entrepreneur. Does that make sense?
Yes.
They're just not into investing in themselves. They're just, you know, in network marketing or whatever. I'm not putting them down. I'm just saying you've got to know where your crowd is. You've got to know where the money is, and you've got to know where the people that want what you have and will invest in it are. Mine people are Orange County, right? Why not LA? Because LA is too far. Too far away. I don't want to go that far. Although I have had events in Los Angeles that have been very profitable. Okay, so you too could have an event in Los Angeles, and of course it would be, and of course Marsha's been doing that for years. You know, Los Angeles is a very mixed community, but a lot of smart, talented business owners and financial institutions, and money sits in Los Angeles, and not just Beverly Hills, but Los Angeles. So very good places. So you have to know. All right, so getting back to the services, there's an idea on page 5 of some of the services you could sell from the platform. It doesn't have to be one of these square products. It could be private coaching. It could be group coaching, mastermind, live events, webinars, podcasts. You can even sell that. Membership programs and online programs. Online programs are those programs that you buy, you go to, there's nobody there with you, but you might go and be on it once a week or something, and it's self-study. Used to be real popular. They're not quite as popular today. I have one, I don't even do anything with it. I launched it. Remember, I think were you part of it, Ardina? My launch. I launched it and then I just let it go. I don't try to sell it, but I do have an online home study 6-week course. It's pretty cool.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So that's page 5. Now at the end of page 5, let's just write for our own sake. What do you think in your next event are you going to sell? Of these items here, or something that maybe is not listed there. So let's take a couple of minutes and just brainstorm. And it could be more than one. That's why I put more lines. But and here's why. We are going to sell it today. Whatever you put here, we're going to sell it today to each other. I mean, nobody's going to buy necessarily, but we're going to sell that item. That's what we're going to use the formula that you're going to learn. So we're not just pretending. We are really, really practicing to sell. Okay. It could be a 6-week online course. It could be one with you, one without you. It could be all kinds of things. If you have any questions, let me know. So, and again, I'd put 2 or 3 of them and then put the price. Put the price because I need to know the price, because the bigger the price, the longer time you need to be with them. So if you have a 1 day that you're going to sell it at, you can sell a bigger item than if you just had 1 hour webinar. Got it?
Got it.
Okay. And I'm going to eat my breakfast.
Let's see.
If you want to pause the
All right, we are resuming the recording, and after we talked about what we want to sell. So we're going to come back and start with Angelique. So Angelique, what is it that you're going to sell?
So I will be selling a 1-day webinar.
Well, don't call it a webinar, it's a training.
Oh, training.
It's just a virtual training, but webinar, people don't pay for webinars. They're free normally.
Oh, that's true.
So training, you pay for.
A full day training, and it's clarify your dreams.
Got it. How much?
That is $97.
Perfect. Perfect. And okay, so that's what you're going to sell. Okay.
Today.
Perfect. Today, that's what you're going to sell. Perfect. Because we can sell that small enough that we can sell it when we're doing a 20-minute or a 30-minute. And then later we'll talk about what will you sell once they come to the 1 day, then you can sell something bigger and we'll talk about what that'll be. Perfect. All right, Marcia.
I just have the main one. I don't have something small yet to start with.
Okay, what have you got? Let's talk about that.
The 4-week starter package, which would be like a step-by-step roadmap to set up the foundation of your business.
That's perfect. And how much is that? That is absolutely perfect. How much is that?
For 4 weeks, $6.99.
$6.99. Okay, and at the seminar, could you drop it a couple $100?
Yeah.
Yeah, just because you're here, I'm going to drop it to $5.99 or $4.99. $4.99 would be a good price. You could sell that all day long. Okay. All right. Perfect. Beautiful. Perfect. Okay. Ardina.
Okay. I'm thinking of starting with the membership program.
Okay.
Be once a month. Secrets and tips to photo art.
Okay. And how much is that membership?
$49.
$49 per month. Okay. And are you gonna do any giveaway? Like I'll give you away 2 months free?
Nope.
We'll talk about bonus.
Maybe the PDF, because it's going to be more of a how-to.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What's it called? You're just calling it membership, or what's it called?
Right. Well, I was thinking secrets and tips to photo art. That's not good, huh? How to create your own something. So the membership is so that they will learn something that they can do and complete it. It'll be like if they took a photo, I'm going to show them how to get the finished product. But it's more of a how to. How
about something like the secrets to photo art?
Oh yeah, That's what, well, I had secrets and tips, so just secrets to photo art.
Yeah. Excuse me. Okay.
And then the training. So the training would be, I would be walking them through it versus
Well,
then-
they get one training a month, right? 1 hour, one training a month for the membership site.
yeah, that could be absolutely.
Eventually, you're going to do recordings, and they only get the recordings
Okay, yeah.
out of it. Okay. All right. Good, ladies. Okay. Great job. All right. So now we can move on. We're on page 5. We're going to move to page 6. All right. So there again, I'm not going to read everything. You can read it. This is like, your kind of like research, booklet that you can go back and read. But what's key here is when we close, study other people's close techniques. Closing, like everything, has changed. It used to be we'd list every single thing, and now in this environment, I'm finding that less is more. That people are, they don't have time to go and see all those extra videos that I've been putting on there. They get overwhelmed, right? So they just want what it is. They don't sometimes want all the extra bonuses if it's too much and they feel like they can't take advantage of it, then they won't buy. So let's keep it simple. We're on stage, it's different. They want the big package. They want to walk out with something, right? They want to show everybody in there that they bought from you. They're your next elite client or your next superstar or your next, whatever, sunshine star. So, but in here, this environment is not the same. They have no one to compare it to. They have no one to show off for.
Makes sense.
They just either want what you have or they don't. And if they feel too overwhelmed with what you're giving them, they won't take it because then they feel like, well, it's a bonus, but it's part of the package and I can't do it. Therefore, I'm not getting my money's worth. When it's a bonus, bonus means it's free. There's no value. I mean, there's value, but there's no change in value.
Yeah.
People don't always see it that way. They see it as part of the program. So in this environment, we keep our bonuses simple. We don't load them up. I know from experience and from watching other people sell, which is on page 6. Study other closing techniques, people selling. Use a prepared script when you close, right? This is where I'm going to say in the beginning, especially, you're going to write this down. And we can do it in this environment, right?
Yeah.
We're not going to read it. We're still going to know our script. But before, we're not going to outline the close. We're outline it, but we're going to add a little bit more words to it. And then, of course, we still want to prepare the logistics. When we're on stage, of course, the logistics might be you're going to have some of the product up on stage sitting there. Right? I put mine up with a nice little bow around it and make it a big deal. Ooh, this is the freebie that you're going to get. You're going to walk out right now today, and you're going to walk out with it and start studying it the minute you leave the seminar, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you got to prepare that. But now in this environment, you want to make sure your PowerPoint is prepared because when you close in this environment, we need a PowerPoint. We need to see it. Just verbalizing it, we're not going to remember. So we still need to see it. So you need to have everything on the PowerPoint that you want to make sure that you share and that they see, and of course, the value of it as well. All right, next page. Prepare the stage. Same thing. You got to make sure you're prepared. The lighting is good. You look good. You're close enough. People can hear you. It's all the same thing, right? Prepare that visual offer. We talked about that. And now we're not going to have offer forms. However, you have to get this all ready for sending people somewhere. All right. So for example, when I do speak up, cash in, I get ready. And of course, it's on my PowerPoint and I am ready with a copied link. And I put that directly, make it live, ladies, what makes it live?
Putting it in the chat.
What makes a live link in the chat?
Oh, a hyperlink.
What makes it? It's putting the HTTP.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so you make sure you put the hyperlink, you tell them that it's the hyperlink. Now, if you don't have that hyperlink and they go to a form, which I've done for my mastery program, then you send them the link to the form. But you have to send them somewhere so they can buy.
Okay.
It's on your PowerPoint, but you're going to increase sales if you put it in the chat. All right? So make sure you'll be able to put something in the chat ahead of time. When you have your discussion with whoever you're speaking for, if it's not your room, we're assuming these smaller items, you're not in your room, then you are going to make sure that number one, you can share your screen, and number one, you can put something in the chat. Because not everybody opens up their chat, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Ladies, right? When I do my networking meeting on the 17th, I'm not having the chat open. Right? I'm not having the chat open. I'm not doing it so that everybody can put in their information and then everybody else can just go and take my list. That's not what this is about. Now, are you going to be able to in breakouts? Yeah, because you're going to meet each other. It's no different. And I've been thinking about this a lot. How do you set up a real networking meeting? Right? When we would go to networking meetings physically, we would go early. We would meet people privately. We would exchange business cards. We would talk and say, we'll call you, whatever. And sometimes people did, sometimes they didn't. You don't walk into a meeting and go, give me your cards, everybody. Now, when would you do that? B and I used to have this thing called speed networking. And everybody just goes and gives cards. We did it at the chamber. I threw them away when I got home because they were of no meaning. If I put them in my database, it would have been spam.
Mm-hmm.
And they would have been mad at me. And the next time I saw them, they would have like, right? And I would have to them if they just put me in their database without meeting me. I hate that. Oh, I met you at the chamber. No, you didn't. And no, you didn't. You didn't meet me. You gave me your card is all you did. So I decided that I'm not going to create that environment. So more and more people are doing that because the chat is rude sometimes. It's like talking when someone else is talking. Right, Tasha? I mean, it's just rude. It's gotten out of hand. Let me put it that way. I don't know about some meetings you go to, but I mean, let me give you an example. Here is a meeting I went to the other day. Look at all this. Mindless, blubbering baloney. Not used to me, but I wanted to save it because I wanted to demonstrate. Mindless gobbledygook of people not paying attention. Speaker speaks. Oh, they're a great speaker. Why don't you just pay attention? And you learn something instead of going a bunch of gobbledygook. So anyway, we're seeing that more and more. I mean, we started to see people off the private chats. I saw that. And then now I just went to a real big seminar. I had 2 on the same day, the same weekend. We don't do that because I was not present for either one. It just, you know what I mean? I made a mistake. And it was like, I tried to go to this one. And then when they would have a break, then I tried to switch over to this one. And I wasn't in it physically present for either one. And I felt like I lost out. Now, I did make one great connection when I did go in the morning, which is like a godsend, someone that's going to help me with my audiobook, but, and my audio stuff, which is really what I needed. So the total godsend, because God already knew I wasn't going to go. And then I had to take care of Michael in the middle of the day. And then, and then I was just like, oh God, this isn't working. So what is the point of all that? I don't remember. Oh, so in those chats, not only did, I mean, they took out a year before I went to one of them, we could privately chat. Nope, gone. And when they were doing the close and some other important things, they turned off the chat.
Oh,
That's smart.
When they were doing some important teachings, and of course the close, they turned it off altogether.
It's really smart.
It is. And I thought, yeah, because people, again, they're just going, oh, blah, blah, blah. You know, they're commenting, but they're not really contributing.
mhm.
And then when they would say, okay, now I want to hear from you what are your 3 main goals that you're going to do this year? Then people would have a chance to chat. And then it made sense.
Mhm.
And they got to see something that wasn't a bunch of blubbering blubber. So just know that that's happening now in the virtual world. People are learning and they're switching it up, right? So why does it matter? Because you need to do it for yourself too.
Mhm.
Not because whether they do it or not, but you got to think about, how do you want to run your meeting? Do you want people to make sure that they're paying attention, hanging on every word?
Mhm.
Or do you want them to do mindless, chit chat, right? So keep that in mind. It's something we didn't have to deal with, because when we're in a live event and someone would be talking to their neighbor, all you had to do as the speaker is be quiet. And they would go what? They'd look up and go, or go, sorry, right? I mean, we had it covered. No one ever chit chatted when we were talking, right?
That's right.
School teachers, same thing. They just silent, and then the kids go, ooh. I mean, that's been going on for years, but now it's different. If the chat's open, we can't control it.
Yeah, makes sense.
We can't be quiet. And so all we can do is stop the chat. And you all know where that is. It's under your security button. When you're the host, you'll have a little shield that's called security. When you click on security, you're going to see hide profile pictures. You can hide people's profile pictures. If they come in without a video on and you don't want them to people to see their picture, give them that, you can actually hide their profile pictures.
Mm.
Right? You can turn off the chat. You can turn off, rename yourself, turn off, unmute yourself. You can make it where you have a meeting where people can't unmute. Those new features. Okay. And of course, you can always, underneath the same thing, remove people, the people that have come in. I've been in 2 meetings where we've had interruptions from bombers, Zoom bombers, where they come in and say mean things and nasty things, or they do nasty in the chat.
Mm.
Yeah, 2 times. Doesn't happen very often. It won't happen if you have, now it doesn't happen because people have waiting rooms or passwords. Of the 2, just 2 waiting rooms. If you don't recognize someone, don't let them in. If you do let them in, you can remove them immediately. Okay, enough chit chat. Okay, so we're not going to have offer forms, live offer forms, but your offer form is going to be in the way of either a website or, and I'll find mine, I'll show you. I have a form that I use for one of my events that they go right to the form. And I tell them, look, I don't have a website because this is a special I'm only offering you. And it's for my virtual speaking mastery classes, which are classes, right? Which you guys are taking in here anyway. You are taking here anyway. But I bundle them and I sell them for $197, where they're $97 a piece. So I bundle them. And you have to go to this forum, right? And I've never had any problem, with people going to the forum. So there's a couple of ways to do it. All right. Okay. So let's go to the formula now. All right. So good. We're going to introduce the formula, then we'll take a little break. But here's the big formula. We're on page 8. We are on page 8. I'm the queen of formulas.
Yes.
Queen of formulas. Okay, are all of you going to my networking meeting on the 17th?
Yes.
Okay, good. Because I want you to model me. I want you to model it. When you get a list, you can create your own, grow your destiny networking group. But here's my mission statement. I decided I needed a mission statement. I wasn't going to have a mission statement. I was going to say our mission is there is no mission. But here's my mission statement. Okay, so Powerful Influencers Network. And I said influencers because I didn't want to say speakers, because I didn't want it to be limited to speakers, because authors are influencers, business owners, coaches are influencers. When you're a coach, you influence all your clients every single day.
Yep.
Okay, so mission statement: to expand our influence, impact, and income through connection, communication, and collaboration.
Nice.
Good.
How cool! Yeah!
To put a mission statement.
Very cool.
Very cool.
That's very cool.
Yeah. So, okay. So let's go page 8. We've done the preparation. We've prepared everything that we need to prepare. We've got our link. We've copied it, so we're ready to paste it. We've got our PowerPoints. We've got everything ready. Now, what does seeding mean? Seeding means that during your talk, and why I have it here is because you don't have to do it for every talk, but you need to do it for every talk you sell at. So in other words, when several ways to seed, but one way to seed is just to say, and then like in the very beginning, my outcomes. One of the outcomes that I have 3 outcomes: to give you great information, to motivate you to speak out of the box when you're in the box, and to invite you to participate in a program with me.
Okay.
That's a form of seeding. Then as we go through the speech, then I might say, and I'm going to talk about this a little bit later when I introduce to you my Passionately Speaking program. That's why we want a name for our program, so we can start labeling it, so we call it the same thing, so they hear it. By the time we say it 3 or 4 times throughout the day, they're like, what is this Passionately Speaking program? I want it. What is this Clarify Your Dreams program?
Mhm.
Right? What is this quick start? What is yours, Marcia? Yes, what is this starter package? What is this, whatever, business starter package? So they want it. So 2 ways to seed. The third way to seed is through testimonials. This is Ardina Brooks. Ardina struggled to get speaking engagements until she joined my Passionately Speaking program. And now she learned where to go to get them, how to get them, and now she's speaking once a week, every single week. She's on target to do 150 speeches this year. Boom! 3 ways to seed. And you do the first one once, but you can do the other 2 more than once. Right? You just don't do them once and shut up. You could do them over and over again, multiple testimonials, and you could do, I'll teach you this in my Passionately Speaking program. We cover this in my Quick Start program. Where you're going to get more clarity when you come to my Clarify Your Dreams program, which I'm going to talk about at the end of this, at the end of the day. So you see how you just kind of work it in innocently?
And kind of build up.
Yeah. All right. And again, testimonial stories. You can use those throughout the presentation or right before you start your offer. Now, depending on how long it is, right? If you're doing a full day, of course, you want to have 7 or 8 of them. If you're just doing like 20 minutes, you're just going to do 1 or 2. You're not, otherwise, I just was on somebody's, now she had a good 40 minutes to speak, but I'm telling you, it seemed like the whole thing was about testimonials, like on and on and on. It was a little too much where I wanted more content. Now, did it work? I think it probably did for her, right? I didn't stay on because I had a podcast I was speaking on, so I couldn't stay. But it must have worked because she probably does that all the time. So Testimonials I know work, but I'm just an educator. I like to educate and I like to get education. Okay. All right. So next. So now we're starting the actual formula for the close. Once we've got everything set up. So the first thing that we do is we state the problem or the solution of the problem. So describe the problem. So the problem is a lot of people just are too scared to step out on that stage. Right? But it doesn't have to. It's just because they have not learned how to formulate a speech, how to craft a speech. Right? Would it be okay if I just shared with you a program that I have that will help you to eliminate any fear of speaking? Would that be okay with you? Right? Nod. Okay. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Now, what they've done is given you permission to sell to them. To sell to them. Okay. Why don't we do this? Why don't we take our break a little bit early, because I see we've lost Angelique and we don't want to do this over again. You know? So does that sound good? Give her about 15 minutes and take our break now.
That's fine with me.
Well, it's 10 after. So we were going to take whatever time I said the break was, 10, 15, 10:30. So we'll take it now for 15 minutes, 16 minutes altogether. So we make up that last minute. So come back here at exactly 10:25. Okay, 10:25. And Ardina, if you would just text Angelique and tell her we're on a 15-minute break, that'd be great.
Awesome. And we'll stop the recording.
Oh, see, I love that. And you could do it. Oh, now she's back.
No, I'm on a call. This something
We're going
happened.
to take a 15-minute break because you're on the call. Will that help you out? Okay, so come back at 10:25. And we'll pause the recording now. All right, welcome back from break. We are on page 8, and we are talking about the actual formula after we've got everything ready and set up. Uh-oh, what happened to Angelique? Okay. All right, so you all heard this once before.
Uh-oh.
Oh, goodness sakes. Angelique, where are you? All right, so we are going to go through this step-by-step formula, and feel free to mark up your book. Remember, you do have this PDF, and you can reprint your pages over and over again, which is another advantage of having a virtual event is we can do that, right? As opposed to when it's physical and you get one man. All right, welcome back. Okay, so we're on page 8 and going over the actual formula. So you want to start by stating the problem, which is, the pain point that your products and services will fulfill. Ask permission. So you might say it might be something like, so many people are afraid of public speaking, and it's just because they don't have a system. They don't know how to develop and craft that speech. So, but it doesn't have to be that way. I have a program full day training where you'll learn my system and learn exactly what to do. Would it be okay if I shared a little bit about that program? I mean, great, thank you. Right? You want to thank them because they've just given you permission to sell to them. Then you name the product or service. All right. So what I'm going to share with you now is a little bit about my Passionately Speaking program. Now, this is when you would show the PowerPoint, and I will show you mine and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Who is it for? Right? Who is this for? It's for entrepreneurs. It's for business owners. It's for, women who want to find their destiny. Whatever your target market is, where you're going to take that away from what? Your core message, right? Your elevator speech. You've already got it. A little bit about what they're going to learn. What are some of the key benefits? And the key benefits can be kind of same with what they're going to learn, because what are they going to learn should be key benefits. If it's applicable, the location, or maybe you say it's virtual. Program dates, if it's applicable, right? And what is the investment or the tuition? We do not call it price. We do not call it cost. It's always an investment. It's an investment into themselves, or it's like tuition into a training class, depending on, your target market. So tuition might work better for our Dina's group than it would for Marcia or Angelique. Okay. So comparative price. Now this is optional, but some people, some industries, it's like, you compare it to somebody else in your industry.
Okay.
Otherwise, we're just going to say kind of like the regular, we're not going to say price, but we're going to say, that's why this is an example. The investment into the program is $6.99, right? And here's some bonuses. Right. And then, of course, we want to drop the offer and give them a deal.
Okay.
Right. For today, it's because you're here and you're here all day, I'm going to give you a $200 discount, making the amount only $4.99. But you always want to give them a reason. A lot of people, you probably seen her doing the COVID. This is the COVID deal. This is the COVID price or whatever. And again, if you want to drop it further, you can give them even more of a discount later. It's limited to 10 people. And I'll tell you what, if you sign up within the next 15 minutes, I'm going to give you another $50 off. Right? Go into your payment plans. I always talk about the payment plans and the guarantee. Right? There's a 30 on my passionate speaking. Come to the training for 30 days. If you don't like it for any reason, you'll get 100% of your money back. Right? Then you close. You actually tell them what they need to do to get it. Go to, I'm going to put the link in the chat. Do it now. Right? Of course, we're not going to say see the back of the room, but you're going to say, sign up now. What I have found that in the online world, that you want to drop the price even more. That's why I've dropped like my $4,000, to $997. Although, I mean, they don't get everything, but they don't know that. Get everything. And I dropped it from 4 days to 2 days because online, we can get a lot more done online because we're not taking 2-hour lunches and we're not taking 30-minute breaks, which when you chit chat with people ends up a 15-20-minute break ends up being 30. Settle down. So there's advantages and disadvantages. The disadvantages is that we don't get to chit chat during the break. I hate that. You don't get to, see people have fun and go and, and in my training, people would always, get so close because they were so vulnerable, right? Sharing their story on stage and all that stuff. And they would just get really tight and make new best friends. That chat is a little more challenging, of course, in this kind of environment. Okay, so then you call to action and you say, thank you. Now I'm going to show you, I'm going to get a PowerPoint up here in which I sold, and I'm going to share this with you. And this is when I just had a little bit to sell, a little bit of time. I think I have 30 minutes, which is kind of normal. Okay, here it is. All right, so I'm going to share. All right, so this is my normal PowerPoint, go through professional story, all of that, little personal. Here's the outcomes that I talked about. I have 3 outcomes: share powerful information that you can use immediately, motivate you to speak out of the box when you're in the box, and to invite you to learn more about how to speak to grow your business. So what is this called?
The invite, the call to action.
No.
No, invite you to learn more about how to.
The key benefits?
No.
Nope.
Seating?
Tell them what they're going to learn.
Seating. Oops. Seating.
Seating. Oh, seating. Okay.
First time.
Okay.
So they know what's coming. Come on.
Yes.
Okay. So then I go through my material. You see I have testimonials, more information, funny story, testimonials, and then now here I am. Invitation, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, this is, I call it invitation. So your message matters. I talked about your message matters. Now are you ready to learn how to speak up and get clients? Then I go right into, this is my program. So if you looked here, okay, I'm on step number 2, right? Oh, after I've asked permission, said thank you, that all happens here, right? Would it be okay if I shared a little bit about my program, blah, 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 how you can get more? So speak up, get clients, the name of the program, right here. Now here I put the location, I put location and the time and everything too. Take time, which you can do, or you can do it later. I chose to do it here. Otherwise, you could see it's on the next page. It's entirely up to you. Okay, here's what they're going to get, right?
Okay.
Let me see, who's it for?
Yeah, who's it for? Yeah.
Who's it for? What are they going to get? What are they going to learn? What are some of the key benefits? Right?
That's
And
all on the same slide, right?
I just moved them. Okay, so I did a condensed version. Here's the first step number 1. Here's step number 2, and I added step number
3.
on the next page, location and program.
Oh.
Okay, all on one slide. Then who's it for? Then what are they going to learn? And what are the key benefits? All in one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then I come up with the investment. But first I put the bonuses, okay?
Okay.
Now, watch this. Slideshow. Current. Okay. So here, because it's a lot more condensed in this environment. So I just give them a couple of training. Here's the bonuses. Bonuses for signing up in the next 15 minutes. So I didn't give them a whole bunch of bonuses. I just said, if you sign up in the next 15 minutes, you're going to get these 2, which I know they're interested in. This was a training I did for NSA just like a week ago. NSA. Well, I know they want engagement, right? And then how to speak virtually, and a super bonus, you can bring a friend for free. Now look at what I have here. Register here. I have it in front of them, but I also put it in the chat. And then I went, or you can text me. I want them to have two ways to get a hold of me in case they had a problem with a website or something else, problem signing up. Then, bam, I told them how much it was. I built value, then I told them what it was, because I was not going to drop it anymore. You're going to drop it like if you're going to make it $6.99 like Marsha, and then this would be the drop price. But mine's already $47. There's nowhere for me to drop it to. Right?
Yeah.
So instead, I said you can bring a friend for free, which really makes it $20. But I see people, they don't do that most of the time. They pay the $47 and just say, gift a friend or a client or a family member and say, look, this is what I bought for you. And it really goes a long way. Now, on this one, I don't guarantee it, right? My passionately speaking, I do. We'll go and look at one of those. But I don't guarantee it because for heaven's sakes, it's only $47, right? If they didn't go and they want their money back, fine. But to come and get your money back, if you're not happy, that's ridiculous. So you're going to have different kinds of closes each time, depending on what you sell, but that's only $47. So let's go to one. Let me go to one that's like a higher price. All right. So like my passion speaking, let me find it first before I go and switch here. All right. But that's like real inexpensive. Okay, I'm gonna have to find another one. Okay, so I am going to give you an example of my one day. Okay, so we'll go and do my one day where I do 2 closes in my one day. Okay, let me go. I see the second one. Okay, here it is. Okay, so now let me share. Okay, so everybody can see that. So now right before the close, again, I have testimonials, right? Testimonials. And then are you ready to take the right action? You know, most people don't take action on their dream, on what they really want to do, on how they reach their own Mount Sinai. But I'm going to give you a really simple way that you can learn how to, learn more about public speaking. It's my Passionately Speaking Apprentice program, right? So now if I looked at my paper, I'm right here on number 1, right? What is the program?
Yeah.
Right? I'm going to put a testimonial in there because this testimonial says that he's made speeches where more than made up for the price of the program. Right? And then CJ, same thing. He's got a big old long testimonial about the program. Another web designer, 2 web designers. Then I talk about Florence LaRue, which famous person happens to be in my program. I'm just setting it up. And then I talk about what is the program, right? What is the program before I say who is it for? Weekly calls. Every call is recorded. Blah, 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 blah. Right? Then, who is it for? Okay? Who's it for? I'm right going down the list. What are you going to learn?
Yep.
Bing, what are you going to learn? What are those key benefits? Boom. Okay? Now, I don't have program location of the date because it doesn't apply to this one. I do in my Create Your Speech in a Weekend, and we'll look at that next. So, 1-year tuition, $9.97. I'm right there on example of the regular price. I'm investment and tuition. Third one on page 9.
Yep.
Okay, then boom. See, this one is a little more expensive, so I have more of the formula. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay, when it's 47, you're not going to take as much time. All right, so included in the program, right? Here's all the things that are included. And of course, if you were to do it with the slideshow, you would see that it comes in one at a time. Okay, boom. Okay, 100% guarantee. I skip the limit. I skip the limitation on this one. Now again, the speaker training is limited, but this one, there's no limit. So I go right to the guarantee, right? And I say today's discount, total investment is only $4.97, right? Okay, then I give them an extra bonus. Register now, you get the lifetime membership. I have the link here and I'll put it in the chat. Right? In the program, now I'm recapping the whole thing. Boom, because I want to add the lifetime membership. And so that's the total value of the program. And then I'm going to give an action bonus, which is if they take action now within the next 15 minutes or whatever time I say, oops, they get another $100 off for taking action, or they can use this payment plan. Either one. They just need to go to this site. They're going to see this. So I'm already introducing them to what they're going to look at and what they're going to look for. Got it?
Yep, that makes sense.
And then I'm done. That's where I end it. Okay. Now, if I go down to, let me go down to the bigger offer. Where did it go? Where did it go? Here we go. Now, if I go down, so then I teach more after it's all done. Teach. So that's like done right before lunch. And then this one is done right around 4:30 or so.
Okay.
After I've what? Opened the hearts with video, right? Some of that with Jason's story. You've all seen this. You've all heard it. A lot of this is $1 million. There's different things $1 million in here, but some of it is the same because it's what I teach, right?
Yeah.
So now I'm saying this. I set it up for, I tell them the story about my brother. Don't wait till it's too late for you to get out there and speak, right? Do a very famous quote. One day you'll wake up and there won't be any more time to do all the things you want to do. I mean, isn't that a heart-wrenching?
Wow.
I know. So you want to find things like that work for you, that are, that you resonate with, that you can use too, because it's so true. And this guy's he's a millionaire. He's a millionaire. Anyway, okay, so today is your day. Imagine that you're on the stage speaking. So now I'm on, I'm really, getting into the program. I'm really on, the problem, all of that. Imagine, blah, blah, blah. And then create your speech in a weekend. Here's the program name, right? Another testimonial, because I'm selling a higher end product. Who is it for? Boom. High achievers, movers and shakers, and legacy leaders, right? It's not for tire kickers or looky-loos. And I'll say that.
Yeah.
For wannabes and kindas, and it's for people that are serious and want to step up now.
Mm-hmm.
And anyone who wants to learn more, make more money, get their message out to the world, and make a huge difference. And I hope that's everybody in my room.
Mm-hmm.
But don't listen to a word I say. Now it's when I bring some of my past students or my masterminders. So whoever of you come to the one day, you'll have a chance to share your experience of the Passionately Speaking program. And I talk another testimonial. You're never too old to dream another dream, Les Brown. And right, and Angelique knows the answer to this one.
Oh, it's the graveyard, the dream graveyard.
I'm surprised. I didn't think I put that one in my one day. I usually save that just for the $1 million. But guess what? I think that's what made a big difference. Okay. So who's ready to create a brand new ending? Here it is again. And then here's what they're going to learn. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Right? And you're going to learn my mailman. And here's what it'll do for you. So I've added more, just because of my event, I can do that. Right? So I've added more stuff, and then saying you'll never have to worry about making money ever again. So create your speech in a weekend experience. I tell a little bit about it, talk about what the price is, the real world value is. I never said price or investment, just what the value is. More testimonials. Now I put the date and the time. Okay. I don't know why it said May, because I did it in April. I did it April 8th. I don't know what that's about. More location Zoom, create your speech in a weekend. Boom, 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 boom.
Nice.
Okay. And then all of it So again, the bigger the item, the more you're going to do. That's why you can't do this unless you're in your own room. Okay, total value, and then we're dropping the price, right? Guarantee, tax action bonus, 2 30-minute coaching sessions with me. And then again, we're adding all that value, speaker checklist, blah, blah, just load it up. High ticket item. And then the speaker summit live, and then total value, and boom, price. All right, so pay in full today, it's $2,000. That's why I sold so many. Because most people don't drop something $2,000. They drop it $1,000.
Oh yeah.
$2,000. It takes just as much of my time, just about to, online, to train one as it does a dozen.
Yeah.
Okay, and again, we're not taking 2-hour lunches and we're not taking all this other stuff. So I told them to text me. I only wanted 8 dedicated individuals, right? Text me now to reserve your spot. That's all I said. Text me now. And then boom. And then I go back into the training. This is more training. Okay. Oh, I know what that one. I know what that May was. That was the day of the Create Your Speech and Weekend date. And I did do it that day. So that just gives you a little bit of kind of like how this formula is used. A little bit more extensive when the price is bigger. Add more testimonials. Add more description. Add more bonuses. Add more. All right? Okay, so now guess what we're going to do? Okay, now let's go to page 10. You're going to do yours now. That's what the next hour, and you're going to have 10 minutes to do yours, to put it together as much as you can. All right, we'll give you 15 minutes, and then you're going to. So on page 10, we see when should you do your offers? Before a break, right? Before lunch, before a break. Teach, if you're going to have back in the room, you want to make sure you teach them what you want. The longer you speak, it equals the more sales and the higher the price.
Okay.
Use PowerPoint, testimonials, products descriptions, etc. And keep the microphone live while you're answering questions. So if someone had a question, you can answer it right here. But make sure everybody can hear you. You can say, everybody stick around. Don't go off into a breakout room, because that question, if people are sticking around and not going to go sign up or whatever, then that means that they might have that question too, or they just want a little bit more. So don't mute yourself. Don't put people in a breakout room. Just stay live.
Okay.
All right. Any questions before you go off and do your own? I mean, you're going to stay here, but you'll go off and do your own. If you turn to page, and I'll be here, so don't worry. If you turn to page 11, there's a shorter formula for you that you can actually fill out as an outline. So feel free to use page 11 and 12 to write on.
Okay.
To do this, or use, your computer, whatever you're comfortable with. Okay. All right. So go ahead, mute yourself, stay live in case you have a question. You can, raise your hand or whatever. And one of the other features, new features of Zoom, of course, is the raised hand, right, is now here instead of that little blue thing that used to be over on the strip on the side. It will stay there. Yeah. Oh, look at you did it. Yeah. It'll stay there until you lower it yourself. Okay. All right, go. I'll be here. I'll be drinking tea. I'll be muted, but in case the dogs bark, but I'll be here. All right. All right. You've got 15 minutes till about 5 after 11. Okay, go. You don't have to practice it now. You're just writing it. You're just outlining it. So 15 minutes should be enough time. We're going to practice it together. You don't know how to practice it yet, so don't even try.